Hello guys, so let's start with my introduction. My name is Shubham Chipa. I'm currently working as a software engineer at Happy, and previously I freelanced at Umigo Incorporation, that is a US based startup, and Elysian Field Group Holdings, that is a UK based startup. Recently I interviewed with Amazon, Razorpay, Navi Technology and various other startups and product based companies. I am a passionate software engineer and like to teach coding and development stuff. So, uh, about this channel, this YouTube channel is sponsored by Newton School. So let's have an introduction about Newton School. So you can see here is the website of Newton School. Newton School is an Edtech startup. So it offers free upfront courses and trainings to get placed in various product-based companies and startups. So they have a model of income share agreement where you don't have to pay until you get hired. And yeah, so students who take courses from the Newton schools have like placed in these companies. You can check out the website, and you are going to get live classes, industry projects, mock interviews, personal mentoring from like people who are currently working in the industry. Yeah, so you can expect these kind of courses. You can see we have like top-notch mentors from Google, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs. Yeah, so you can check out their website and courses. If you think you can do it, you can like enroll in those courses and you can get hired by software companies and startups. Today we are going to discuss about vectors. So in C++, dynamic array, for dynamic array we use vector. So for example, so if you have like multiple values that you have to store, okay, so for example, if you don't know how many numbers of values there are, like it will be dynamic, so you can create vector. So the vector like increases its size dynamically, whatever it needs to be. So yeah, that's why we use vector. Also, like in generally we use vector instead of arrays for the same array purpose. Yeah, so let's see how to use vector. So for example, we have like 5 values and we have to sum all these 5 values. For example, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this is the like number of values and these are the values. Okay, so let me just copy this and write it here. I will be explaining both Hindi and English, that is English. So कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं है, अगर कोई दिक्कत है तो प्लीज़ कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताना, ठीक है. सो हम लोगों ने एक एग्जांपल ले लिया है, ठीक है. सो इसमें जो पहला अपना है, ठीक है, वो हमारा है नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज़ एंड उसके बाद में जो वैल्यूज़ है वो एक्चुअल वैल्यूज़ है, ठीक है. तो इनका सम कितना होता है एक बार यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं, ठीक है, जो कि हमको आउटपुट में देना है. सो इनका सम होगा 5 4 9 10 12 13 14 15. Okay, let me double check that. 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 2 12, plus 3 15. Okay, so now I have to they can be like these number of values, so it is like known to us. We can use array, but we are going to use vector. Okay, so you know the like drill, how to start, as we discussed in the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous video, the first video, sorry, input output, you can check that out. And the previous video was about string. So hash include, then we do bits slash std c plus plus dot h. Okay, and then in main. So I am doing this again and again so that you guys also see this again and again and have a lot of practice writing this, because in the real interview scenario you are not going to get the code, initial code written. You have to write the code yourself, so you have to practice that on a simple editor. Okay, so yeah, int main, and then we have to get the n value, that is the number of values in the array, and then the vector and the vector itself. So the vector can be ARR, and it is going to have n values. Okay, yeah. So for that we can do like this. So incoming from stream, and for that what we can do is we can give a temp or x value, and that is x, and then we can array of I equals to x. Okay, yeah, and this way we can store it, and then we can print the value. So if you don't want to do this in a separate for loop, you can do it here also. So you can like have some variable, and you can like sum plus equals to x, and you can see out the sum as sum. Let me see if there is anything to debug. Yeah, there. Okay, as we always do, we forget using name space std. Yeah, sum is 0. So why it's 0? Because we did something wrong. Let me try to see. So here the n, and we are not taking the input n, so that's why it's 0. Yeah, now it's 15 and it is correct. And we can also print the array as well, so we can do the same. We can do in the above for loop as well, but let's do it separately. And we can do like this, array of I, okay, and here we can do this. Yeah, it's 1 2 3 4 5. We can change it to 6, and we can see it will be 16 and 6. Yeah, so that's how we use vector. Let me show you again. So vector, then this is like the data type of the vector. If there is a string, we can use string here. If it is a user defined data type, we can write the name of the class or the pointer based on what we are storing. And we can also use definitely use the primitive data type, that int, float, etc. And then we write the name of the vector, and then braces, open square braces, and then the amount of it is going to, the amount of data it is going to be have, the values it is going to be have. So for example, if you want to initialize the vector as 1, so let's do this also. Let me, yeah. So now if I run the this code, we get like by default it is initialized, every value in this array is initialized to 0 if we don't add like initialize a value or override that value. It is going to be 0. So if you want to have some R value, like, so we do this like this. Yeah, now you can see it's -1, -1. Okay, so yeah, so that's how we can do like initialize the vector and use it. Also vector has some functions like vector dot clear, vector dot find, we can find on vector, but we are not going to do that. As I told you in my previous videos as well, whenever we have to use that, we will use it and we will learn it, why we are using it and what's the underlying thing going on there. So if I show you here like each and every function related to vector, that will be a time waste and not going to like add value to you. So that's why. So now we studied about how to use vector, so just directly move into a question so that we can understand about it more, why we are using it and what's the time complexity and underlying thing. So for that, let me just pick a question and we will do it in the same manner as interview asks. Okay.